Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Jorge's Isolation Podcast. Today, I have an amazing guest. It is my friend and the very talented Robby Ramos. You can see him in the upcoming upcoming season of Snowfall on FX, where he appears on a few episodes there. You can also see him in Orange is the New Black. And he's a very talented dude, and he just booked something really huge we can't talk too much about, but you gotta listen and stay tuned. And this is a person that you should be following, and you're going to see some big things from him. So here's the conversation. One. Hey, Robby, thank you for joining
Yes,
me.
sir.
How you doing?
Dude, I am in the middle of a bunch of craziness, man. First of all, my body right now, just to give you an idea, is in complete shambles, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we started working out. We're doing physical training. And then beside that, we're doing wrestling training as well.
Oh, that's so awesome. So, okay, we can't name what you're working on, but actually, for those of you watching and those of you listening right now, this is, Robby Ramos, a fantastic actor. He's actually a working actor right now. At the tail end of this pandemic, my man here is working. I don't know how much you can tell us, but you can tell us as much as you can. We know it's about wrestling. So let's
Know that much.
yeah. So tell me more. So you're doing wrestling.
Yeah, so we're basically doing physical training for 2 weeks, and then we start shooting the beginning of September.
That's awesome.
And I'm here in Atlanta, man. I mean, it's been a crazy past 2 months, man. Really.
Yeah.
I don't know where you want to start, but I mean,
We can't. First of all, you got married right before this, so congratulations.
thank you, dude. No, a lot
Before the
of
pandemic,
things
right?
happened, bro.
It's been a huge year for you.
Oh, incredible, man. So actually, I got married in October
October
of 2019, right?
Mhm.
And then right after that, man, we came back from the honeymoon, and I went directly to LA. I had been in Miami for 8 months prior to that. I was doing a show there called Amparo.
Yeah.
That was a massive success in Miami, and we ran for, I think it was like 8 or 9 months there.
And that was a cool experience because that was like an immersive experience based around this rum, right?
Yeah,
And
on
it was like
Havana Club.
Yeah. So explain more about that. I'm sure everyone
So
would.
Bacardi, basically, Havana Club and Bacardi used to be rivals back in Cuba in the 1950s and before that. And when Castro took over in 1959, he nationalized all the companies, all the banks, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those companies was the Arrechavala, which is the Arrechavala family are the owners of the Havana Club.
Yeah.
So he basically took over Havana Club, and the family was exiled from Cuba.
Yeah.
And the owner at the time, he took the recipe of Havana Club with him, of the original Havana Club.
Yeah.
And so even though that let's call it the fake Havana Club is being made in Cuba,
mm-hmm.
they brought it to Miami, and they basically sold the original recipe to Bacardi. That's right before he passed away, man. In the I think it was the late 90s, he sold his original recipe to Bacardi, and Bacardi is basically carrying on the legacy of the original family.
Yeah.
Now, and so they're making the real Havana Club here in Puerto Rico, but Bacardi's basically distributing it in the United States. Yeah. And the play took place about that. It took the audience back to 1959, mm-hmm. and they basically witnessed how Castro took over the country and all that. It was really incredible, man. And yeah. And I was lucky enough to be a part of it, man, for real.
That's really cool, man. Like I remember you kept posting that, and they had like a different crowd every night, and you worked it. It's just like any other show, but it was just an immersive experience. Did people get to drink during the show?
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
That was part of what was crazy. It was awesome for them, but as the performers, I mean, you can just imagine And then in Miami, you know, the theater audience is not huge. So there was actually a lot of people that had never been to theater really, or don't really like theater.
Yeah.
And they're going to see this immersive theater play.
That's
and you
awesome.
can just imagine how that was. And then also you add on top of all of that is the emotional connection to Cuba and all the exiles there are in Miami. And so you're mixing alcohol with very intense emotions, and things got dicey, man. Things got dicey.
Oh, I can imagine that. I think though that like for like where I'm from, you know, we have no theater appreciation. I mean, the only people that really appreciate theater are like the theater kids, you know, and then like the college over here where I went to. But here in South Texas, I understand that. And like that experience, if you're gonna break someone in that's not a new theater person, that would be the way to do it. You know, because I mean, you know, you don't really, there's no rules. I mean, aside from like don't touch the characters, but it's kind of like, you know, relax, have a drink, listen to the story, join us, be part of the story. And that's what's really cool about that. And it's not often you get to do that.
No,
that's different from doing stage.
Dude, it's very unique, man. And the audience is in your face, you know, literally. I mean, I don't know how in this COVID world you would do it, because we had audience members all around us at all times. And moving them from room to room. It was crazy, man.
Isn't it crazy that was just what, maybe a year ago, and you couldn't just to think that you can't do something like that now, and we don't even know how long we'll be able to do that.
I know, bro.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, man, it's really depressing, dude, if you start to think about that kind of shit. And until when is this gonna, you know, keep going? It's like, God. I don't know, man. I just hope we can get back to some, you know, some form of normalcy, you know.
I'm curious to see if that will happen. Like for me, I've kind of like tossed 2020, you know, out the window, saying, you know what, I might not be acting this year. Because I am right now based in Texas, and a lot of places that are working, they're really only casting local, like New York locals. So even if my rep had something huge for me, they might have to just pull some sort of strings or whatever. But we don't even know. Like Texas, where I'm from, like here specifically where I'm at right now, we're probably the hardest hit by COVID right now. Like New York lost a lot of people, but we're past them. Like in the nation, like if you like Google McAllen, Texas, bro. It's bad. Our hospital. Yeah, dude. Like we're in the news several times over the last month. Yeah. They had to convert our convention center to a hospital because we didn't have enough capacity in the hospitals. And even the hospitals, they were losing supplies because they had too many people. You know, at one point they were losing like 30 to 40 people a day dying. COVID. It's like, within the last month, we knew at least 3 or 4 people a week that were dying. We knew of somebody that was dying, you know. And the craziest thing is with all that happening, people still don't take it serious. People are still like packing up bars and gyms and stuff. It's crazy. And I get it. You know, you don't want to live in fear, but you know, it is what it is, you know.
And dude, you had a scare, right?
Yeah. This is well, that's why I started this podcast, is because in the last 5 years, I've developed, I had a minor asthma when I was younger, when I was playing football in high school and stuff. And it wasn't bad enough to where I needed an inhaler. Every now and then I might need a nebulizer, but it was nothing where I'd have an asthma attack. I just had problems just breathing here and there. But in the last 5 years, every summer I'd get hit with something bad, an asthma attack or a respiratory infection that was just always bad. And so I started getting, you know, a bit of a fever. You know, I had an asthma attack too. And so with all that happening, and it's kind of like we don't go anywhere. So we're not around people, but it's kind of like, you know, like when they say you need to get a mandatory drug test, even though you know you didn't do any drugs, you know, you're still worried like what will show up, or, you know, like, oh, we're going to do an STD test, but you haven't, you know, done anything with anybody. It was like that. Like I haven't been around anybody. I don't think I have COVID, but I still have to have that. And then knowing all the people that passed around us kind of started getting to me. And I started like, I have a little girl, I have a wife, and we set up our life over here. And there's bills and there's a lot of living to do. And I just, you know, started thinking about like, you know, what am I doing right now? And I want to see the people that I admire, and I want to talk to people I admire like you, and just see what people are doing, how they're handling COVID. And I just wanted to reach out and talk to people, because I don't know when, you don't know when will be the last time. Like you know about like Nick Cordero, right? The guy from Broadway who passed away.
Yeah. I heard about that. Yeah.
So like we know his wife, Amanda Klutz. Like I think I told this story a while back on another episode, but there's a picture of me on the set of Going in Style where I'm in the middle of, those little, the chairs they give us, where I'm on one side is Michael Caine, and he's like muttering to himself. And on the other side is Morgan Freeman asleep. And his wife took that, like Amanda Klutz, she took that picture of me. Yeah. And my wife knows her too.
That's iconic, dude.
Dude, it was awesome. Yeah.
I got to see that picture.
I'll send it to you. It's on Instagram.
One sec, man. They're calling me. Hold on.
Yeah. Look at this guy. Business is huge. Look at this. So right now, Robby Ramos is taking a call because he's a busy working actor, which is really awesome. Robby can be seen in Snowfall. He has a movie out called Extra Innings, which you should check out. We'll talk about that in a second. And I think Robby is back.
Yeah, my bad, dude. My bad.
Dude. No.
I don't want to see any more Hollywood. No, I gotta hold on. My manager's there. No.
Dude, this is legit. This is the taste of the real world, people. No, I was plugging your stuff, dude. You were doing Snowfall. You have Extra Innings out.
Dude, yeah.
But yeah, like going back to that, like the Amanda Klutz and Nick, they had the same kind of trajectory as we did. Like Amanda and my wife Rosa were pregnant at the same time. Like our daughter is a month older than their son. We moved across country at the same time, and like he passed, and it was really sad. And I started thinking, like, what am I going to leave behind? At least he's left behind a pretty good legacy. Like he was nominated for Tony. He's done all these Broadway shows, A Bronx Tale, Bullets Over Broadway, which is where they met. He has a song that was out, and like I'm thinking, like, what am I going to do? And I started wanting to reach out to people for inspiration. And so this is basically where we're at right now with this podcast is, what can I do? And I'm getting inspired daily, talking to all y'all. So
I'm sure.
Yeah. So that's I had my COVID scare. Luckily it was negative. I had a really fast turnaround. I took the test in 24 hours. I had my results. That was good. Wow. Yeah. And same thing with Rosa. Like we don't go out, so it's been good, but it's been dead.
I know, man. I know.
You were in LA when all this happened, right? When it started.
Yeah. So basically what happened was that right after my honeymoon, I went out to LA and I was looking for reps, and I had a friend of mine, JD, shout out to JD. He set me up with some meetings out there. He's a producer and he had some contacts in LA, and he set me up over there, and I went over there and I met with a couple people, and I really hit it off with my current manager.
Nice.
And so I said, all right, that was in November of 2019. So I said, okay, I'll move over here in January. Anyways, it's kind of dead in December. So
yeah,
I end up moving in January. I think it was January 13th. And that same week I have a meeting with an agency that was kind of interested. The same day I had a meeting with them, they said, we have an audition for you. So I went in for the audition, and it was the Snowfall, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it was that was the first. That was probably 2 days after I got to LA.
Yeah,
and it went well. It was like a normal audition. The casting director seemed interested and all that, and I was like, all right, that felt kind of good. We'll see.
Yeah.
Then I didn't hear back from that particular audition probably for like a week and a half.
Yeah.
And then my agent hit me up saying, hey, they want you for this thing. It's 3-episode guest star recurring. I was like, what? Dude, up to that point I had just done co-stars,
Yeah.
And I think maybe I had 3 co-stars.
Yeah.
So I still feel super green, dude. Like theater is my main thing, but
yeah.
I'm trying to get into the TV thing now. And so then
You're not
so I
trying.
went
You
in.
are already in it, man. Like
Facts.
you've done it. It's like what Yoel Vasquez said. It's like, bro, you're working. Like it's a job. Like
Uh,
you've been
right.
doing it, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know. It's something I gotta like kind of like remind myself all the time. Stop talking about it as if it's not already kind of happening. But so
Yeah.
yeah, so I booked that thing. We did an episode and a half. It was super cool, man. I don't know if you know the actor Bruno Bashir, the Mexican actor.
Yeah. Yeah. Was he the one that playing the Oso? No. No. He's the wrestler. Or no?
No, he's from Spain. His name is Sergio. I think
Yeah.
yes, Sergio Perez Mencheta or something
Yes,
like
yes,
that.
yes, yes. So
Yeah.
when Snowfall was made, I went in
Yeah,
for Snowfall because they were trying to they had shot the pilot and everything. Like Billy Magnuson was supposed to be the white dude.
I heard
The
about
guy
that.
playing, the who kept the part, which I'm glad. I auditioned for that part because they needed that. They were gonna recast everything. I don't know why they wanted to recast, and they did recast a whole bunch of the show after they shot the pilot. But I'm glad the guy kept his part. The Mexican dude playing the wrestler.
Yeah.
But that's the business because you don't like you don't
Wow, man,
know.
that's so crazy,
I mean,
man. That
Billy
they shot
Magnuson
the
is doing
pilot.
okay for himself, but everyone else wasn't known. Like this is their big, like quote unquote, the big break.
Wow,
You know
man,
what I mean?
that's
So like, I'm not a
heartbreaking.
hater. Yeah, it's heartbreaking, and like, yeah, I might have not booked it, but I'd rather a guy who originally got the part, and then
Right,
see. I could imagine how he must have felt when they're recasting. I mean, I
wow.
would have felt like shit. Like, oh man, like that would have been a blow. But I'm glad he
To
got.
find out who it is and interview him, bro. That would be a good. Just to maybe
Yeah.
he's doing great, man.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
to be bounced back.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Um, yeah. So working with those guys, man, and that was a little masterclass there. Watching said he'll work, and then
Yeah.
Bruno Bashir, he was also coming in as a recurring guest star with me. But I mean, this guy's a legend,
Is he
though.
related to Damien?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
he's his brother. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, dude.
brother.
Those guys are
Guy,
killers, bro.
dude, a beast, bro.
Yeah.
Like just watching this guy was
Yeah.
a masterclass, man. Just how he was dealing with the things on his desk, and he's playing the chief of police down there in Mexico, and yeah, I mean, just legend, dude.
Yeah.
Legend. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, just working with them was freaking awesome, dude. And then, so we shoot an episode and a half, and boom, COVID hit, and that was it. And I was looking to go down to Mexico. We were gonna shoot some scenes in Tijuana,
Yeah.
and not, now we're just waiting for that
Yeah.
to materialize at some point. Hopefully they
Yeah.
don't just can it.
So then COVID hits, and then what? What do they say? It's like March 13th. We're shutting down.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So somewhere around there, I hear about the shutdown, and then I'm kind of left with, well, I guess I was thinking it was going to be 2 weeks or something, right? Like a
Yeah, everyone
2 week
did. They thought it
shutdown.
was like 2 weeks.
Right. Right. So I was like, you know what? I'll take my time. I'll go see family in Miami, and I'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not at all, dude. 2 months later, 3 months later, I'm still in Miami, and I'm like, dude. And that's kind of what I was talking to you about prior, which is that I started to get really bad anxiety, dude.
Hell
Just, I
yeah.
mean, horrible anxiety of just like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I mean, and then the thing was too, is like, I'm used to the uncertainty of the career, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what we chose.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm used to that kind of thing, but it was another level, dude. And then social media is negative. That news media is negative. Everything is so negative, dude.
It's
And
negative. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah,
It's so
man.
negative. I think for
It
me,
is, dude. It is.
like last year, it was when Rosa was pregnant with her baby. So it was all of 2019. That was the first year, like in January through like I think the end of March. I just said, you know what? I am gonna get off of all social media because I spent the first, 5 years of my career, like maybe not the first year because I was still very green. I didn't understand things, but then you start seeing people post, oh, deadline. Oh, I guess the cat's out of the bag, and then it has the deadline articles like so and so's joining this cast, so and so's joining this cast. And a lot of them are, they busted their ass, or it's like this person's been at it for like 15 years and then boom, they got it. But then there's like those people that they have no gigs at all, nothing under their resume, and yet they booked their first thing, joining a series regular, so and so. And it's not like it's hard to not get petty sometimes because you want to be happy for these people. They're your friends, they're our friends, they're people we know, and you should be cheering them on. And at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm seeing who got what. Am I going to even audition against these people? These are females. Like, I didn't even go for the same thing. Why am I being a little bit jealous of them booking this and that? Because of what? Do I think that the career was going to leave me? So I just said, you know what, this year, like, I'm not going to pay attention to that anymore, because I don't know why. I guess in somewhere in our heads, it's like a competition, like there's this competitive aspect where I want to get there first. Like, what is there to people?
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's like, I'm figuring out what my there is. It's not fame. It's just telling a good story. It could be, for me, like, I could see these people and then I look at the stuff that they booked. I'm like, I don't even like that show. Like, that's not even something I want to do. Like, is that something that's going to be remembered forever? Or is that just a paycheck you're going to be collecting and going to work being miserable, So it's taken me a long time to get past that, but still, like, with COVID, I agree with you. Like, it was heightened to the next level for me, because I was in Texas in the middle of nowhere, and COVID was hitting, and I had just like I'm in a new region. Like, I'm learning, the ropes down here in the South, and I have never auditioned for the South before. It's always been, the North and LA, and yeah, I feel your anxiety, like just the uncertainty of just maybe never working again. And that's still a possibility, to be honest, for me. I don't know.
No, for everyone. I mean, really, like, even people that are like, I'm working now, but I mean, who the hell knows? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, man, it took its toll on me for sure. And
how long did it take to start, like, kind of getting to you, like after the third week, fourth week, or like the second month?
Yeah, it was like the second month, I think. I was doing pretty well up until maybe May.
Were you getting any auditions, like self-tapes or anything during that time before then?
I think I had one for a film, an independent film, but that's it. There was nothing else. And I mean, that, it just feels like a long shot. Every time you do a self-tape, I just feel so oh my God, I'm sending this in. Who knows if they're even looking for this guy? I mean, how many times do they do auditions and they're not really looking for that person? It's like, all those,
There's like for me, for self-tapes, I've never felt confident thinking that I'm gonna be, seen by a producer or director, or just get past the casting. Like, are they even watching the tape? Like, I know that if you do it in person, that they're there, that they've seen it.
Right.
And
there's feedback.
And you can adjust, you can do this and that. Like, on a self-tape, what is there? The bored intern watching it and saying, nah, I don't like him. He's not cute enough. Oh, he looks funny. We don't know.
Yeah.
We really don't know.
No.
I'm trying to get some casting directors on here just to, like, give some feedback and just kind of like demystify all that, especially the self-taping stuff now for me, because it still feels so alien to me, because in New York we went in everywhere.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy.
I know. So, I know it's totally changed. Yeah.
And did you self-tape Snowfall, or was that you were called in person?
No, that I went in, because that was it was late January. Everything was still kind of normal,
That's crazy, man.
So I went in for that, man. Thank God.
Yeah.
And
so now it's May, and you're getting bummed out. The negative thoughts are getting to you. You're watching TV shows probably and saying, like, man, I could do it better than this guy. I was like, oh, why wasn't I seen for this? Every time.
That's why I watch.
No,
I only
yeah.
watch like sports documentaries and documentaries now because it's like.
Yeah. No, me too. I don't really watch the episodics that much, man.
I can't.
Dude, I was just going through. I mean, there were so many things going on, man, and so what I basically think got me out of that funk, at least for a little bit, was that Wim Hof, dude. I started doing the Wim Hof breathing.
Me too.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Right on, dude.
Game changer.
Dude.
I even get like 5 bags of ice. I dump it in the tub. I've done that a couple of times now. Yeah. I have a tub now in my house that actually fits me. Like I can fit in because back in New York I could not fit in the tub. But in New York you could do a cold shower easy in the winter.
Oh God.
Massive here a cold shower, it's 105 degrees outside. It's like it's cold for the first second, then it's like nice after the fifth second.
Yeah. That happened to me in Miami too. Yeah. But the cold shower, I mean, morning routine. I started putting all of that together and just like trying to change the way I was approaching the day from the get-go, you know, because I was waking up, checking Instagram, checking my Twitter, what's, you know, how is the world going to end today and that kind of thing, and just jumping into that cycle, man. And I think I totally stopped doing that, and then also exercising, man. Yeah, we're big dudes, man, and you know that. Yeah, you know what that. You know, the food is completely connected to the anxiety. And so the food, the drinks, I mean, for me, it was like Coca-Cola, right? The sugary drinks and all that, I stopped completely, cold turkey. And
do you drink alcohol?
No, man. For the most part, I don't drink that much. You know, if we're somewhere and we're having beers or whatever, I'll do it. But I'm not really a drinker in my day-to-day at all, actually. And so it was basically, it came down to like what I was drinking and what I was eating, you know.
Absolutely. You feel so much better. It's like your mind is clear. Because like in the mornings for me, I stopped checking social media first thing in the mornings because that's what I would do too. The first thing you do is you grab your phone, lay in bed, and you do that. Well, my daughter wakes me up, and when I hear her waking up in the monitor, I get up and I go to her, and then we get dressed. I give her a little bit of her morning milk or whatever, and we go for a walk for an hour. Start the day off with that.
Walks,
the breathing. I listen to podcasts, and then, you know, I shower. I try to do my breathing then, and then, you know, we have our day. But it's one of those things where man, social media can drive you down, man.
I know.
Drive you so down, and it's just seeing other people's like. There's a lot of ignorance out there.
Yeah.
And you say, like we talked about this, like you say something and it's not what the public wants to hear, then
I
don't want to say cancel culture, but like you're the bad guy, or you can't have an opinion against anything else. No matter what side you're on, you can't say anything.
No matter, man. Yeah. Everything's so sensitive, dude. I mean, so I just completely stopped.
It's the way to do it.
Yeah. But that's crazy. We have we had a similar technique to avoid the anxiety, dude.
Well, that's the thing that pisses me off is that we never hung out in person.
I know.
We never hung out in person, and then we talk online all the time. We talk, you know, we're messaging each other all the time, and very similar way of thinking. We love the UFC. We have the same kind of like, we're the same type almost. I'm just like 10 years older, but it's like we're like the same type. We're the big dudes. You know, we're still kind of green, you know, we're newer to this the industry. Exercising, like everything, like you're telling me this, I was doing the same thing at the same time. Wim Hof as well. You know, it's just like, what the hell, man? Like, why didn't we hang out?
I know, dude. It sucks, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And I think, did you do Unit 52 or no?
Yeah, but remember they had 2 classes. Were you with Aldo's group?
No, dude. So I think I did it the same year your wife did it.
I was in it that year.
No.
Yeah?
No way, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I did it. No,
because in my class it was my
Andres Munar was our teacher.
No, we had Daniel.
You see, I think maybe Rosa did it 2 years?
She did do it, or she did a 1 minute play festival.
Okay, exactly.
1 minute play festivals, because we did the 1 minute play festival.
Oh, I mixed it up. That's right, I mixed it up. Yeah. I did the 1 minute play festival with her.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it was a year after that or before, I did Unit 52, but we just missed each other, man.
Yeah. I think the year after, the second year of Unit 52.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly, but we just missed each other, man. It's a shame, dude.
It's crazy.
Real.
Yeah, I know. We could play, like, I could play your older brother that was in prison for like 10 years.
Yeah. Nah, you're not that much older, dude. You must be like a couple years, right?
Well, I'm 37. What are you?
Just turned 30.
30?
Yeah, I just
so
turned 30,
round it up, I'm 10.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. Play step
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So okay. It's May, so we've already gone through June and July. You're working right now. What has happened between June and July? What did you do?
Well, what's insane, man, is that Father's Day. What day was Father's Day?
I should know this because I had celebrated it.
July? Was it July?
It was June 15th or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so that day, my wife surprises me that I'm going to be a father.
What?
Yeah, dude. Right?
That's amazing. So, congrats to that. I didn't know that. Did I know that?
No, dude. No. We haven't. I mean, I haven't posted, I'm going to
Well, it's going to go up like in 2 Mondays now, so the world's going to know.
Right. Well, I mean, I'll talk about it, but I just, posting is like a different animal. But so.
Well, it's not real.
So, dude, she tells me about. It's not real unless you post it. That's true, bro. That's true,
congrats,
man. Dude. Yeah, bro. I was super excited and also relieved, because you never know what's going to happen. And my sister had actually had a lot of trouble getting pregnant and all that. So we knew how hard it is, man. I mean, it's not as simple as people think. So
yeah. No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, no, it's not. Right. So she surprises me, man, and I was through the moon, dude. I mean,
I'm through the moon for you right now. This is amazing,
thank you, bro. Yeah. We got to talk about fatherhood now, dude, because that's I need some tips and shit from you, man.
Yeah.
But bro, so she tells me that, and of course I'm super ecstatic, but then also I was like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
The next day, I was like, what the fuck am I got to figure this out, man, because now we're not just talking about me and her. We're talking about this kid, man, and how I don't have a job. We're in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I going to do? And so I started thinking, well, I guess once things get like a little clearer, I'll go back to LA. I'll work 3 jobs. I'll do whatever the hell I have to do,
Yeah.
Work those odd jobs, do whatever. I had kind of made it up in my head that that's what I was going to do. I'm not going to give up on the dream, right?
Exactly. You got to do what you got to do.
So, and me and my wife, we have that agreement. She knows, what the plan is, and she's a ride or die, man. She's been with me from the beginning, dude. So
amazing.
So we were ready to hustle our way out of it, and a month after that. So if that was
July.
June 14th or something like that,
yeah,
it's July. I get the email about the self-tape for this thing I'm in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, it's a self-tape. It's 3 scenes. I'll get it together. It just so turns out that weekend that they wanted me to do the self-tape, we were doing our 9-year anniversary, not as married, but as a couple.
Yeah.
And so we were going to Naples, Florida. And so I was like, I'm not going to put away, like, I'm not going to not go to Naples for this thing. Like,
yeah,
I'll shoot it in Naples, right? We'll buy a little ring light and we'll do it. We'll knock it out. So I go to Naples. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself. I'm just kind of like, put this on tape, boom, and send it out. We get to Naples the following morning. We shoot the self-tape. And I send it out, man. And I'm not thinking about it. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to think about it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. A week later, my agent emails me that, hey, they're super interested, pending a callback. So just be ready, work on the sides, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking they're going to do like a
Zoom sort of thing.
like this kind of thing, but
Yeah.
with the producers, right? And just kind of give me direction or feedback, whatever. That's not what happens, bro. So the following week after that, we were going up to Tennessee to Gatlinburg with my family.
Nice.
A little family trip. And we go up there. I take my self-tape equipment because I know there's a possibility I got to do the callback out there.
Yeah.
First Monday I'm there, man, I get the notification for the callback.
Yeah.
Now the callback is not acting at all.
Nice.
What they want is a workout. They want me to put myself on tape working out. 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 body squats, 5 get-ups, right? But like a wrestler kind of get-up.
Wrestler get-up, yeah.
Yeah. And it's all got to be shot in one continuous shot. They don't want any editing. They want to see where I'm at physically.
Amazing.
And then besides that, they want 3 forward rolls.
Cake. Can you do a forward roll? I can do it.
No, dude. I had no idea how to do a forward roll. No.
Dude, there's a lot of things. I can't run, but I could do a forward roll.
Are you serious, bro?
I can barely sprint right now, but I can do a forward roll. Yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious. Well,
yeah.
So that was the request, right? And I had a data to send it back. So I wasn't gonna practice how to do it for. I mean, I was just gonna give it a try. So they said if it was pre-COVID, they would have had me go in and there would have been a wrestling coordinator and I would have done the trial with him. But because of COVID, I had to do everything self-tape.
That's amazing.
So the email literally said, like, find a park or something and do it. Right. So
they want you outside.
Yeah. Well, so I call a gym, right?
Yeah.
The first gym that's near us. I have no idea the gyms in that area. I mean,
yeah,
we're in Tennessee, right? And the first gym I call, man, so they have like a ring. I see on the Google that they have a ring. So I'm like, oh, maybe I can do the self-tape in the ring, right? That'd be cool. So
yeah,
I give them a call. And the guy is like, I'm like, hey, man, this is a weird request, but I have to do a self-tape. I'm an actor. It's a TV show about a wrestler and this, that. And the guy stops me. He's like, hey, it's a TV show about a what? And I said, it's a TV show about a wrestler. And he goes, dude, I was a wrestler.
Badass.
Down in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
The show takes place in Georgia.
In Georgia, yeah.
So I'm like, dude, this is meant to be. Like,
there's
this guy,
the sign right there, man.
There's the sign, right?
Yeah.
So I go in, and he's like, man, don't even worry about it. Like, we're gonna knock this out, whatever. He puts the workout on tape. I'm dead, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I'm not in the best of shape,
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm also stressing hard. Like, I'm like, dude, I got to act like I'm in shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
I don't know what they're looking for, right? So I put the self-tape of the workout and then the forward rolls.
Yeah.
Now, the forward rolls, I've never done them in my life, right?
Yeah.
So I do the first one and I puke right away. Because you get dizzy, dude. Like, I don't ride a roller coaster. I don't do any of that because I get super dizzy, right?
Yeah.
So we just keep hitting it, man. And finally, he gets one. He gets a video of me doing a forward roll that looks pretty decent. You know what I mean? It looks like I'm having fun. It doesn't look like. Now, I was supposed to do 3. I only did 1, but whatever. We'll leave that. So I say, you know what? This is the best it's going to come out. I'm going to send it, see what happens.
Yeah.
I send it, man. And now I don't hear back, dude, for 3 weeks. 3 weeks to a month. I'm waiting, bro.
And then what? You just like forget about it, or
no.
No, chuck it up. No,
at all, bro. At all. I know everyone says to do that.
Here's when I forget about it, because I've had these close calls. Like last year.
Yeah.
Actually, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. Yeah. So at the beginning, so 2 Januaries ago, I had two close calls. One where it got to the point where I get an email from agents and the producers saying that I am a top choice. I'm their guy. They're looking at me. Now we're leaving it up to the network. I'm not going to say the network, but there's a network, and it had to be, it was left up to them. And I was like, cool. This is it. This is the big break. This is happening. Like everything, like they said, the directors, writers, and producers all love me. That's what I there's a copy and pasted. So I'm not lying. I'm not making it up.
Right.
And then they ended up casting a totally different ethnicity. Completely.
Whoa.
And the whole premise is like it's a gang, drug dealers, all Latinos, accents. There's even line in the script saying, man, they can barely hear them through their accents. Like they can barely decipher what they're saying because they're heavy, fresh off the boat kind of, accents, Dominicans and whatnot. And the character even had like a Latino name straight up. And everyone was Latino. And they hired like someone else. They hired a black person. So I'm like, they had to rewrite this whole thing. But then, it came out and it worked. The dude was great. And whatever they did, it was great. And it's just like one of those things is like, I could be mad or, I could be bitter or I could be better. And I'm going to be better. You know what I mean? I don't know that guy's life. I don't know his story or what he was like needing. But maybe this is what he needed at this point in his life.
Right.
That's like it's hard to get past that though, because I'm like, I really want to like punch a wall, because you get hyped up, and especially you.
Of course.
Yeah. You get hyped up, or like a TV show that I was recurring on at one point. They kept hinting that I was coming back for more episodes. And I ended up getting written off completely. Like, they said, you'll be back like at the end of the season. Like you're going to be in here for like another couple episodes. And that's what they kept saying on set while we're shooting. And then that was it.
Man.
Yeah. So, dude, I get it. It's hard to shake off. And
it is, dude. It is.
When you get to that point where you're having, man, a physical callback like that, that's serious.
Yeah.
That's serious.
Yeah. Physical callback. No acting at all, man. At all.
Dude.
And so I knew that they, it was close. And my agent kept telling me, it looks good, blah, blah, blah. But she wasn't giving me.
It's like you want to know what they know, and like they know that they can't tell you everything they know.
Right.
You could have been up against like 15 other guys for all you know. Or the only one. But they're like, baby, we want to go with a different ethnicity. Exactly. Or a woman, like they want to go with the female, like that's
never know, dude.
You never know.
No, at all. So it's impossible. And then usually like when these things are happening, you might be auditioning for something else, or you're working on something else, or life is going on as usual. The business is that was not the case.
Not this year.
For me. So I got nothing. I'm sitting at home just like thinking about this all day. And manifesting, dude. I mean, I was doing the visualizing. I was doing the whole thing, bro. Every little thing that they tell you to do.
Were you wearing tights around the house?
yeah. You name it, bro. I was doing it, right?
Running into walls, folding chairs and people.
No, seriously, man. I mean, I was unbearable, because I was staying with my sister and her husband and my brother-in-law and my nephews and my wife and my mom and my dad. So we were all in the same house, and they were like, dude, this kid's unbearable, because I couldn't be still. I had this look on my face like I was dying, and I was, dude. I was going through hell, man. That waiting game, bro.
Dude,
that is the worst for me, dude.
Like a similar situation, kind of, where I had booked a commercial like 3 years ago. And I went to fittings, and I had a call time. I showed up, and it was a commercial with Cyndi Lauper. And I was playing her driver in this commercial, and it's for plaque psoriasis, for Cosentix. And I show up on set, and you know, it's a commercial, so it's not like, you know, doing TV or film. You're in like a trailer with everyone else. Like I was in the trailer with makeup and costumes. You know?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I waited there for 6 hours, and my scene was the last part of the commercial. The last part of the day, they've been shooting for like 2 or 3 days. They broke for lunch as soon as I got there, and then I waited and waited and waited, and then a PA comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, Jorge, you know, we're really, really sorry, but Cindy is tired, and we're gonna wrap for the day, so we're not gonna, you know, get your coverage. You're still gonna get paid for the day, but we're just not getting your coverage." And I was like, "Oh, this is rough," because it was a national commercial. You know?
Oh no.
And I was so mad. Fast forward to a year ago, and I get an email from my agents, and that says, you know, it's for a Cosentix commercial with Cyndi Lauper playing her driver. And I emailed them back. I was like, "Is this a joke?" And they're like, "Why?" I was like, "You do remember you all booked me on a commercial, the same exact commercial, like 3 years ago." And they're like, "Oh shoot, that's right. We did. Yeah, same thing." So I went in, and the casting director, swear to God, when I went in, they're like, "Hey, aren't you really Cyndi Lauper's driver?" And I was like, "No, I had done this commercial. Like I had booked this before. You cast me in this." They're like, "Oh my God, Jorge, we're so sorry." Yes, that's right. So I thought that was an easy book, right? Because I'd already booked it. No, I had to go to another callback with the clients and everything.
No
I had to
way,
go through
dude.
the whole thing, and I waited a few days even to see if I got it. They kept me stressed out.
Right.
Dude, it was
Wow.
nuts.
You did, but did you
I
get
booked it. Yes, thank God.
Oh.
That's what's kept us afloat. Because I booked it the
Wow.
week my daughter was born.
Whoa,
Yeah,
dude.
that was the lifesaver. You know what I mean? That was the last time I worked. That was in June, like the first week of June.
Wow, bro.
Yeah, but I had to wait through all that, and that's because I had already booked this. So they were like testing me again, and the clients even knew me. You know, like at the callback, like
Yeah.
they were playing it coy, like they said hello and everything, but they saw the other people
Right.
in the waiting room, so they were just like, you could tell that they were playing it safe. And then even when I walked on to set, like they apologized about the last time, and they said, "We're gonna make sure to get you shot, like all your stuff shot first." So I was like,
Wow.
"Oh, thank God." But yeah, bro, that sucks when you have to wait, and then they make you wait,
Man,
and they pumped you up. It's a horrible feeling.
and like you said, man, like you were having a kid. You just had a kid. So you're even more stressed out about like
Yes.
the money matters now, man. It really, really matters.
Yes.
And so yeah.
It never ends, man. That stress.
Oh,
Especially
I
since
know.
it's been over a year since I've worked, you know, and then
Wow.
with COVID, and then
Yeah.
you hear about what SAG did with changing their health plan up. Like they raised
Yeah, I
them
saw
up by 10 grand. They're making it harder. My daughter's under my insurance. So like they're still counting the months that COVID was shutting down the industry. Like, what is the
Yeah.
deal? You know, like that's neither here nor
Crazy.
there, but the
Mhm.
stress is definitely there. Your stress is building up right now because you have a close call. It seems like it's a close call. It's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
You just end up just waiting one day and you see a trailer for a new commercial or a trailer for a new show about wrestlers. And it's like, oh, that's what I went in for.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I was just stressing it, bro. But then finally I got the call, man, and it was my agent, my manager just congratulating me on that. And
What was that feeling? Because this is huge. Did you already know that it was as big as it was going to be? Like, did they tell you how many episodes or?
yeah. I knew it was big, man. And so I knew it was series regular. I knew it was every episode of the thing. And dude, so when I got it was I was crying. I was, and then I was staying with my family, so they were all there, and so we were
Yeah.
just like super excited, dude. They knew the pressure I was under, man,
But also to see their boy succeed.
Yeah, man.
Because in the back of their mind, they're like, we love him, we support him, but we don't know if this is gonna happen.
100%, dude.
We're Latinos. I know how it is, bro.
You do know how it is, man. It's like, yeah, they support me, but it's like, dude, at some point,
you gotta grow up, Peter Pan.
we're reaching that point where it's like I'm having a kid, so it's no longer like, just me being, oh well, he's he doesn't have a steady income and he's working as an actor and it's, bro, it was amazing, dude. And then
when did you find out? What was this on the timeline? So is this August now, or
so this
at the end of July?
No, this was like probably first week of August.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I got you on here before you were too famous to even do any of these.
Nah, dude. No way, brother.
Yeah.
I'll be on here forever, bro.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Did they tell you, like, okay, so you booked this now, here's a worksheet of things you need to do to prepare? Or did they cover like COVID guidelines, or like you have to come in?
Oh, yeah. No,
physically?
We've been drilled with all of that. And then, they were just big on quarantining, and I was already quarantining as it was, so it wasn't a big adjustment, but I definitely got more anal about that, of just like, I don't want to get it at all. And then I had to, and then I drove up here rather than taking a flight.
Nice.
And now, man, we're doing, so I think this is kind of how it's going to be on all sets. It's like a week of quarantining when you get to the location.
Okay.
So I did a week of quarantining in the hotel, and then we do a test. We do a COVID test before you leave to travel, and then a COVID test a week after you quarantine.
Okay.
And then now we do 3 COVID tests a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're
up the
getting
nose.
tested. Yep. The swab, bro.
Dude, I got one of those during my scare. It sucked.
Yeah. No, I'm already getting used to it, man. I'm like,
yeah,
it's like whatever. At some point, you just kind of like, and I think they're getting better at it. They're not going as deep as they once did.
Yeah. I think that's what I've been hearing. I've been watching.
Yeah.
So that's what they're saying.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No,
yeah. Like when they test them, like to go to practice or whatever. A lot of them said that they had gotten tested before, but like with them, they're just like they're not really digging as deep.
Right. What's funny is you bring up Hard Knocks. There's one of the actors in the show. I can't name him yet, but maybe the second time I come on here, we could talk more frank about this stuff. But he's an ex-NFL player, and he's a big dude, bro. He's a big dude, right?
Yeah.
And he goes in to do the COVID, and he's like, you just hear him like it's hurting him so bad, and it's this big dude, man. He's a freaking beast.
Yeah.
When I tell you his name, you're gonna be like, damn. And so I was just cracking up at this big guy, just like being like, oh, my nose, you know what I mean? And because it is uncomfortable.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah, dude, close, bro. I'm telling you.
Oh man.
That type of
when we're
monster.
off air, when I stop recording, we'll stay on for a little bit after. Maybe you could drop.
Yeah. I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Yeah. Oh, that's so crazy. So is the cast huge, or I mean, we know physically they're huge, but like you're playing a wrestler.
Yeah. No, the cast is really good, man, and they are huge, dude. All of them are taller than me. I'm 6'6", 6'1", somewhere around there, and they're all taller than me, brother, like 6'2" and up. Just big dudes, bro. And so I'm working out with these monsters, man.
And do they have like a trainer there for you? Like this is like a dream for me, because my dream role, like when people say, hey, you want to do like something, for an Oscar or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool, but I'd rather do something where it's like the 300, where you have to go to like Jim Jones and like have a special trainer, and like they put you on this diet and you go through like 6 months of training before. Like that's like a dream job for me. That's something cool, like something in Marvel, or in the contract. In the contract, you have to have like the trainer in there. You know what I mean? Like, and a nutritionist and everything. That's the dream. Right now, I'm just pumping iron in my garage.
Right. No, yes, we've got the trainer, man, and we've got the wrestling coordinator. We got all those guys, man. It's been really cool to kind of start working with them, man. It's only been 2 days, but my body's like,
yeah.
It's gonna be an adjustment period. Yeah,
it's gonna take a couple weeks. You'll get there.
Sure.
And they planning to keep the training going throughout shooting. Like
I think so. Yeah. We're basically.
I remember you told me. I listened to that podcast of the lead.
Okay.
So I listened to it, and he had points. It's like, okay, if you want me to show up on set without a shirt, then schedule call time a little bit later so I can actually go to the gym and have my proper rest and all that. Like, so knowing that, and from that other show that he was in to this, that's, I'm sure that that's probably structured into this deal because he's a producer too, I think, right?
I'm not sure if he's a producer, but he's got a lot of say in it, I think. And well, I mean, dude, we're here 2 weeks before shoot. I mean, we start shooting September 8th. So we're even more than 2 weeks. We're like 3 weeks early here.
So freaking cool, dude.
And we're just, we're just we're just working out, bro.
That's the thing. Like, the whole first part of the year sucked. It really did. Like from March. I wouldn't say January and February, because January and February actually kind of, it eased my mind a little bit moving away from New York, which is something I want to ask you about in a little bit. But for me, moving, like, you moved to LA, I moved to South Texas, and people say, I say South Texas, they say, oh, San Antonio. And I'm like, there's still about 200 miles south of San Antonio. I'm on the border, like we're there. Like, Reynosa is right across the border. Matamoros is across the border. Like, we're right there. And I was afraid that everything that I did up till then was done. Like in New York, like everything, like all that, like all that momentum. But then I found these agents, like I have a manager in New York, and he set me up with a meeting here in Austin. Like, so I drove up 5 hours and I met with my agents, and they signed me. And man, right out the gate, bro, they had me going in for like series regs, features. Like, I have 5 huge auditions, I would say 5 huge auditions. One for sure I knew I wasn't going to get. But it was because they needed me to meet with the actual casting director, which was fine. Like, as long as I could crush the scene, knowing that I wasn't going to book it, because they wanted an ex-military guy. Like, when you see ex-military in the breakdown, they expect a Navy SEAL. Like, they want David Goggins walking in there. Or Jocko Willink walking in there.
Or Jocko, yeah.
And they, that's what it was. And then boom, COVID ended. And like, it seemed like, it seems like it's never going to end, but I tell people, is like, you know what? There's still 4 months left of 2020. That's still a lot of time to make it a good year, and you're turning it around right now. Bask in this, like, this is like those days, like you started hitting your rhythm, and it's just like you said, you're green, you're new to this stuff, but it's like, like you are doing it, you're not trying to break in, like, you've broken in. People know you now. This is a huge jump, man. Like, congratulations on everything. Like, it's been a big couple years for you.
Yeah, it has, dude. It has. And I think at some point in New York, I made a transition in my mind from being just a theater artist to how do I make money in this business,
Yeah.
Because I was comfortable just doing theater and within the little group of New York. And it's actually, New York is massive, but it's, I mean,
small.
Everyone knows each other,
Everyone knows each other, yeah.
And so, so I just had to make a little, like, just an adjustment there mentally of like, okay, how do I start making money at this,
Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten enough training in, not forever. I mean, if I could, I'd be in an acting class right now, dude.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Same.
Yeah. Like, I love that, but I guess what I mean is just like trying to start thinking about how do I make this, like, I'm making a living, off of it.
And TV to feed your theater habit.
Exactly, dude.
That's really what it is.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping, bro. That's what I'm hoping, and so So yeah, around 2 years ago, man, is when I started to make those adjustments, and they're paying off, dude, big time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that theater work, working for free, doing 1 minute play festivals, doing like shows in like a 50-seat house. Like it's
Bro.
not fun. Like I've done shows where there's like 50 people, like if you do like, I did the second room in the Cherry Lane. I did, it was like a collected shorts of Teresa Rebeck. And, that house, had 50 seats in that, and I loved every
Bro,
bit.
and that's a lot, dude. I mean,
That's a lot.
I also did in New York. Nobody in the audience. Winter,
Yeah.
Platea, Lower
Yeah.
East Side. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Nobody in the audience. One person in the audience, and we're deciding in the backstage area, are we gonna do the show for this one person?
Yeah.
And we're kind of like, yeah, let's do it, man. Why
Yeah.
not? Let's work on things, blah blah blah, and I did that for a while, man. I did that for a while, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, a good 4 or 5 years where I was just doing theater wherever I could, man. I was taking jobs wherever I could, even while I was studying at the 1-year conservatory at T. Schreiber.
Yeah.
I was working throughout that whole time, dude. From the minute
Yeah.
I got to New York, I was like, yes, I want to study, but I also want to get real world experience of
Yeah.
what it's like to do this.
It's a different beast.
It is, dude.
It truly is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. And so you're going to be doing this. This is going to be shooting through October, November, or through the rest of the year? March?
Yeah. So we take a break.
You get paid episode by episode?
You can't even say it. You're like, you get paid by episode.
Your kid's going to be fine.
Yeah, dude.
Your kid's going to be fine. Your wife and kid, they're fine. Even if it's this 1 year, you'll be fine for at least 2.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so we get off like the holidays. So
you're making up for this year. So like all the time you didn't work this year, you're just making up for it.
It's true, dude. It's true. Yeah, man. So till March, yeah, man. And
Hell yeah.
but I'm still focusing on the stuff I want to do. Like I have a feature that I want to write.
Yeah.
And then once things get a little more settled here and I know my schedule better, I'll start focusing on making time for that, man. Because I think making our own work is the way to go, dude.
That's what I've been trying to do myself. Started trying to write a pilot. And I've been writing, I've been trying to write a book for like 9 years. So I'm trying to finish that up. I just want to tell stories, and, whatever format they come in, like the book I'm writing was originally a web series, and, the web series didn't go according to plan, but it was like a blessing in disguise. And I've turned it into, it was supposed to be longer episodes, and then it turned into a book. And so it's a collection of like short stories. And I get it. You have to do your own work.
Yeah, man.
Especially during this downtime.
I agree.
Because there's a lot of stuff that, what do you want to see? Is there stuff you want to see on TV, or, that stuff hasn't been made, or has it been made wrong or poorly? Like there's that movie, The Curse of La Llorona. It was awful.
Yeah.
And
really, dude?
Yeah, dude, it was awful. They had like a white lead. And I'm like, you realize like this is like every border kid's like childhood. La Llorona is huge in my culture.
Really?
And it's huge. It's one of the biggest like stories grandparents tell their kids and parents tell their kids. And then when that finally came out, it's kind of like, really, this is what they did with it? They had Linda Cardellini, who I love. I think she's brilliant and dead to me. But like this isn't
freaks and geeks, dude.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, man, so I'm trying to do that, and I get what you got to do. You have to stay creative.
Work.
Yeah. So you want to do a feature?
Yeah, no, well, so I have an idea for a short film, and then I also have an idea for a feature.
You wrote a play as well a while back.
Well, dude, that play, that
Alpha
play,
66.
That opened massive doors for me, dude.
Yeah.
I can connect this current project I'm on to that, man.
Really?
Yeah. There's like a little connection there. I spent some time like between when I got the part to now, just being like, dude, how did I get to this opportunity here? And just to kind of retrace my steps to see what it was that, like, because it's easy to be like, oh my God, this just happened, but no, dude, it's been deliberate, and we don't know exactly how it's going to happen, right? But there's steps that you are definitely taking that are leading to this opportunity.
Absolutely.
And Alpha 66 for me was that, man. I met JD, which is, I brought him up in the beginning of the interview. I met JD because of Alpha 66.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And then JD eventually introduced me to my reps in LA,
Nice.
And even between that, there's so many other things that have happened because of Alpha 66. I mean, Amparo, the play that I did in Miami, is also a connection that I made through Alpha 66. They were like, hey, this Cuban company is doing this work in Miami. Like, you should audition. They're coming to New York to audition actors. And that's how I got into Amparo. So that's why it's not necessarily like, we all have these dreams about making our own work and then, it's going to be on a big screen or it's going to be on Broadway. And it's like, it's not necessarily that it's going to do that, but it's that you're going to open all these other avenues, man, that you don't know until you do them,
It's like, I've always told people, especially like kids, like whenever I come down here, I'll try to go to my undergrad and talk to a class. And they all have that same question. How did you get on HBO? I was like, if it was that easy, I would just be on HBO all the time. I've been on HBO a couple of times, but that's just, just how it happened. Like, it's like HBO has different casting directors. Like with Bad Education, it was one casting director, and with Divorce, it was another one. And then Succession, it was with another one. But I think it's just appreciating the work that you're doing without thinking about fame or anything in return, and just basking in that project. I mean, I'm not going to let, like, I'm not ruining anything. Like Raul Castillo has a really good story about how he got looking. And like, it was basically a short film that he had done years before, called Lorimer. And he did that short film and kind of just, it happened, and that time came and it went, and didn't think much of it. And then he gets a call from the director of that short film saying, hey, I've turned it into a series at HBO. Why haven't you read for it yet? And he's like, wow. Oh, shit. Like, I didn't know. He didn't have reps. He didn't have anything. So then from there, he auditioned. I remember I helped him out with the first self-tape. I remember that. And then he ended up probably, I think he had to get called in to a casting office. And then, I think maybe another audition or whatever. But like, he got it. But it was because of that work that he did years before, without thinking of it. That's just doing the work. You don't think about who you're working with at the time or what they're going to be doing. Like it's crazy, and that's exactly what you're saying. That's what's happened.
Yeah, I actually met Raul right before he went off to shoot the pilot.
Yeah.
of Looking. Yeah. We did a play together called Contigo, written by Paola Lázaro.
Paola, yeah. Were you Lollipop?
Yeah.
Did
you see it?
I was gonna read for it, but I was in grad school at the time. And they wouldn't let me read for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You see, dude, we just missed each other.
We're missing each other every single time.
Well, yeah. So yeah, I played Lollipop, and he was Tigo, and he was telling me that exact story that you just told, man. And dude, I remember it inspiring the shit out of me, dude.
Dude, that guy inspires me all the time. Like, he's one of my closest friends, and one of the most humble people you will ever meet. And it's like, if you can learn anything in the industry, is like, look at him as an example. He's selfless. He'll take time out of his schedule to meet with people. Like, we're from the same hometown in McAllen, Texas. Yeah. And if he hears there's someone from the Valley, which is the Rio Grande Valley, not the Valley in California, but the Rio Grande Valley in South Texas, he'll meet with them. He'll take time and have lunch, or like, hey, you want to come to a show? And he did that, and that's how we became friends. And like, he does that with everybody. Is the kindest person, and that's the thing I think that's taking him further than anything. He's talented, but his kindness is just so great. It's going to take him even further. And if I learned anything in the industry, it's just like, follow that example. Is be kind. Don't be a dick. On set, you don't know you don't know if that background person is writing the next great feature.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if that PA has the biggest series he's writing right now or has just finished writing. We don't know any of this thing. None of this. And that's this business. And that's like, it's like, you picked up on that. You look back, you could trace it back to all that.
Well, Raul, man, I remember we did the play. I think it was like a weekend, and Stephen Adley Geergis went to see it, right?
Yeah.
And I think you went the last night, and it was the last day, but we did a matinee, and he went to the matinee, and he spoke to us after, and he came up to me. He was like, "Hey, man, like I really liked what you did." He just kind of gave me some good feedback, and I was probably like 22 or 21 at the time, right? So, and this guy is like an idol of mine, right? Stephen Adley Geergis is the king of playwriting, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
And I remember telling Raul about it. I was like, dude, I he said that I did great, and he said, that we should do a reading sometime, and this, that, and the other. And I remember Raul looking at me and telling me, he said, dude, this career is not a sprint. It's a marathon.
It is, bro.
It's a marathon, bro. And he was, and fucking that shit drilled into my head, because he could see my kind of naivety, right? As a 21-year-old, and like, oh my God, and he was just like, dude, pump the brakes. Like, you did well, but this is a long career, And I still remember that, man. I still remember that. And I tell everybody who I can about that, because it's true, bro. It's like,
it is
a marathon, dude. And you're right, man. He was humble as shit.
Dude, that's what you're going to find. Like, right before then, what was he doing? He had waited 10 years, and he was debating whether he was going to stay doing this.
Right.
His agents had dropped him. He didn't have anything. And then he got, and it's one of those things. Build those relationships. Don't be a dick on set. You don't know who you're talking to, and you don't know who's watching. And several people don't understand that. Like, people watch that Jim Carrey documentary about Andy Kaufman. Remember that, the Man on the Moon? And they see him, and a lot of young kids are going to see that. And I see mainly young men are going to see that and want to be method all the time. And it's like, listen, Jim Carrey was able to do that because he was Jim Carrey. Like he had to do In Living Color before then. He had to do he had to do all this stuff before he could just be obnoxious on set.
Yeah, don't be a co-star and fucking, be method and shit, or guest star and think that, I'm going to be a fucking method actor now. I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'm going to be in character. It's like, come on, bro.
Dude, I've been on sets. I was on one job about 2 years ago. And this one guy, it was a scene with a few of us in it. And this one guy just did not want to talk to any of us. Like, we were all the guest stars for the scene, for the show.
Right.
And this one guy went to a prestigious school and all that stuff. And he's just was, kind of like, we were talking, just chumming it up, basically, during setups. Like, it was one of those scenes where it's like, there was a lot of setups and cleaning up after, making a huge mess. And guy just didn't want to talk to us. I was like, okay, dude, like, this scene, yes, it's physical, but there's nothing intense to be. Like, there's nothing intense here that you have to be like, I'm fully focused. It's like, dude. Grow up. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, we get it. You're better than us. I hate that. It's just like, come on, man. Like, if I just, people like that annoy me. And it's just got to be humble, because, maybe that'll get you some places, but, a lot of people will remember that and not want to work with you later on. Or, that was a production that was cast from the same office. You know, like what if it was one of those things where they caught wind of that and it's like, you know what, he was all right in this, but they don't want to work with him on something else.
Right.
You know?
Right. I think that happens more than we even know, man. Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah.
People are just yeah.
Yeah. I can only imagine. It's probably why I'm not working right now.
Dude.
No, dude, this is nothing. Like, I don't know. For what I believe, and this is in my heart and soul, it's like you talked about signs and stuff, and I believe in a lot of signs as well. One of the biggest signs was, you know, there's a few in my life, and when Rosa and I, my wife, were dating, I hadn't met her parents at all, and she hadn't really said she had a new boyfriend or anything like that, and she was this is like a personal story, but it's not like really whatever. But like she was on the phone with her mom, and I was driving, and so she had her mom on speaker, and her mom was telling her that she had this dream, and she's like, "Oh yeah," she's like, "Yes." And her mom, I think, called her to tell her that she had this weird dream. She's like, "I had a dream you're with you had a new boyfriend, and only name that came up to me was Jorge."
No way, dude.
And yeah, 27. Jorge y 27. 27 is my lucky number. 27 is my grandmother's birthday, is like my favorite football player's number. Like 27 is my lucky number, and I'm Jorge. And Rosa was like, "That's funny because I was 27 at the time."
No way, dude.
Yes. So I believe in those signs,
bro.
And throughout life, you know, I don't know if I've ever said this, but it's like hurricanes have kind of been like a good luck. It sounds bad because of all the destruction, and it's bad luck for a lot of people. But for Rosa and I, every new beginning has started with a huge storm, a hurricane. When we were dating, right? A few weeks after that conversation, a hurricane hit, and I had to stay there to help, you know, Rosa and her mother with the house because there was like broken windows and stuff. And I stayed there while the hurricane happened. And, you know, here we are 10 years later together. You know, when I moved up to New York, Hurricane Irene came. The next year, Rosa moved up after we got married, and that was when Sandy hit. And it's kind of like, you know how like whatever the priests or you get baptized, like that's our baptism is a hurricane. You know, we had our baby, we moved back down here, and we just got hit by a hurricane. And I feel like those are signs. And the biggest sign for me is when my daughter was born and I haven't been working. I feel like this time and this pandemic and this whole shutdown has basically been like, you know, God or whatever you believe in. I believe in God, that this is time that I get to spend with my little girl and nonstop, because there's going to be a point very, very soon where that job might come in. That job's going to come in and nothing shoots down here. I'm going to be gone for long periods of time.
Yeah.
And so I feel personally, you know, manifesting it, but like I personally feel this is that, you know, there's going to be a time very soon in the near future where I'm going to get the call and I'm going to have to be gone for long periods of time. But I was able to see my daughter say her first words, take her first steps. You know, I went to every single doctor's appointment. I did like everything I could do for her, you know, and that's something I'm very thankful for out of this whole time. You know what I mean? Like it's just like a very crucial part in her life. And like a lot of parents don't get that. And I've been blessed with that opportunity, you know? And so like, that's the sign, like what I've taken out of this whole, you know, I think I got anxious personally. And I think I was wondering if I was ever going to work again. But right now it's like, you know what? I'm probably not going to work the rest of the year, just because they've already pretty much cast a lot of the stuff they're going to be shooting right now. Maybe I can go in for a guest star, maybe a recurring or something like that, maybe. But I'm just going to take this time, focus on writing, doing this podcast, chatting with everybody, seeing where they're at, because these stories are amazing. Like hearing your story, like, and seeing, you know, your trajectory when you were doing 1 minute play festivals. Listen, like I saw your 1 minute play festival to this. This is a huge thing, bro. Huge. Yeah. This is amazing. And this is like, you know, it's like it's not I didn't do that, but I feel as if like this is a team win. Like you booking this, you getting this job, like Yul says not to use booking anymore. I don't know. I love him. But it's like, this is like, I'm excited for you, and I'm just like anxious. And I tell people there's people I tell you have to keep an eye on this person. You're one of them, and you're going to go very far, very, very far. And it's going to get to a point where I'm going to be competing with Joe Rogan, and you're going to be, having to figure out your schedule to come on my show.
Got to talk to my publicist, dude.
I've heard that before a couple of times.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. I get it, though. I get it.
It's a real thing, dude.
Because because you can't say anything.
No, I know.
If you say you could say one thing, and poof, that dream is gone.
And not just that, bro. It's like this stays on the internet forever.
You know
what I mean? So
that's why all my nudes are. That's like I set up an OnlyFans just to combat it.
Yeah, bro. But that's
crazy.
The scary part. It could come back to haunt you 10 years from now. It's not necessarily now.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say anything dumb, but it's just, it is true. It's something that's on your mind for sure, bro.
Yeah. No. I say stupid stuff all the time. So I'm like, whatever. I'm not working.
Yeah, whatever.
No one listens to this anyway.
Yeah. That's what you think,
like 10
dude.
people. But what if it's just like everybody that's listening to this is just like, oh, it's like the CAA people and WME. They're like, oh, I like this kid. We're gonna make him a star. JJ Abrams just like stumbled upon like playing podcast roulette, just swiping up in his thumb with like new like podcasts. It's like, oh,
he's like this Jorge.
He's handsome. He's handsome. Let me go to his IMDb. Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, man.
He was in Succession. For 10 seconds. Yeah, dude.
Dude, actually, speaking of that, bro, I remember when I saw you do, I think it was a guest star on, what was that cop show in Chicago?
Chicago PD.
I saw you in that, dude. And I think I hit you up about it. I was like, bro, you fucking killed it in this thing, dude.
Oh, thank you, man.
I'm pretty sure I reached out. I hope I did, bro, because Yeah. So
dude, that was one of my favorite jobs.
Yeah, right. That was cool, bro. That was a great role.
Dude, on so many levels, that was like, I think that's probably, after Kevin Can Wait, that was my favorite job. Because Kevin Can Wait, Because Kevin Can Wait, it was 2-3 lines. But just the experience, like I was a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Kevin James first.
Mm-hmm.
Huge fan of Boss Rutan. Right?
Okay, of course, yeah.
And then I'm a huge fan of the King of Queens, so him and Leah Remini.
So am I.
And I always wanted to do a guest on King of Queens. Well, there was a for Kevin Can Wait, and my manager was like, "Do you want to do this?" I'm like, "Yes, send me in." Yes, I will do that. And that was one of the experiences like that showed me so many positive things about the industry. It showed me first, I got to work with one of my heroes. So it's Kevin James. I got to work with Leah Remini, who was sweet. And I got to work with both of them in one scene. I sat across from them. So that was a dream. I got to hear Boss Rutan laughing when we were doing our scene. Because it was like one of those studio audience things, but the studio audience wasn't there. So when they needed canned laugh, the crew would be like, ha, 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 like fake laugh. 30 seconds. And then I met Ricardo Chavira, who one of my guilty pleasures is Desperate Housewives. And he was in that show. So we got to ride the train back together. And we just realized we lived, like he lived here in McAllen for a little bit. And I actually talked to him before moving down here because he was doing the thing where he lives in San Antonio and he works. So I was picking his brain about, living remotely. And he was doing it before COVID, now it's the thing. The other thing about that show was that it showed me a happy set. Everybody was happy. It was just a great experience. And everyone was happy. Like that's a place I could go to work to every day. It's a sitcom.
Wow.
You know, it was just a fun like that. That's like one of those jobs is like, you know what? If I have to do a sitcom, I want to do something like that. And then walking out, I bump into Chris Weidman.
Really, dude?
Yeah,
So
dude.
you had
Bigger than I thought he was. I was like, you're fighting at 185? Like, are you kidding me? Like,
yeah,
you're
I know.
huge, dude. Like, he's like taller than me. Like, I'd get my ass kicked in UFC.
They cut weight. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, bad.
Cut weight crazy. Yeah.
So bad. But with Chicago PD, like, I actually had like that was my first arc. I got to work, and the costume people or the makeup people, special effects people that did my stomach, they also just worked on Lovecraft Country. That's on HBO, and the new Candyman. And Candyman's one of my favorite movies.
Oh,
so
shit.
I'm like messaging them all the time because I'm friends with them on Instagram. And I was like, tell me details. I need to know more.
Tell me.
I'm a sucker for Candyman. I love that. And Chicago is like, if you can ever work in Chicago, like do it.
Real.
I love that city. I'd live there if I could. If there was a show, I would take it in a heartbeat.
Damn.
I love it. But yeah, that was like like those are the experiences where I'm just like, I love it. This is like, I'm happy.
And it keeps you going. Yeah.
It's hard to top those highs sometimes.
I'm sure, man. I'm sure it is. Yeah.
So this has been great, man. I'm really glad we got to finally talk.
Yeah, I love you, even though we're not in person, but you know.
Yeah. One day we'll hang out in person. Like once again, everybody, like you're listening or watching, like we've never hung out in person, but we talk all the time. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Talk about how crazy the world is and all that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And, we get into all
the stupidity out there, and yeah. But before we go, who do you got? You got Khabib, or do you have what's his name? Blanking. What's his name? I'm blanking.
Khabib and shit. So am I.
Why am I blanking? I should know this.
Wait. Khabib. Oh, Gaethje.
Yeah, Justin Gaethje. Yeah. Who do you got?
Yeah.
I'm kind of pulling.
Khabib, bro.
You going for Khabib?
I don't want him to win. I don't want him to win.
He's just too good.
But he's just simply too good, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's the guy, man.
What impressed me most is that he whooped Connor's ass all those rounds and still had the energy to still fight everyone in the crowd.
After, bro. What a
Connor was gassing.
I know, dude. It's one of the things about Connor. I love Connor, dude.
Yeah, I do too.
But I'm aware that he just runs out of gas, man. But if it wasn't for that, I feel like that dude would be the greatest of all time, bro.
Yeah.
But he gasses out, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It might be a biological thing. I don't even know if it's something he can do about it.
That's what I say about myself.
Yeah. That's their excuse.
Yeah, it's just like that's biological. Why I'm not in shape.
It's biological.
I can't help it. It's genetic, bro. I was dealt these cards. God made me handsome. It's like I'm you know, that's all I am. I'm a pretty dump truck. That's what I am.
Yeah.
So man, thank you for joining me today. You can stay on a little bit after if you want to chat a little bit more. But everybody watching and listening, thank you. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button on YouTube or give me a nice review on iTunes. I'm on Spotify. I'm on all of it. And thank you again, everybody. Robby, you've been awesome.
Thank you, brother.